Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again so much for our time together. I'd like you to come with me to the book of Mark, chapter 9 today. I'm not at the Mount of Transfiguration, I'm still at Galilee, but I'd like us to look at the Mount of Transfiguration today. Mark 9, beginning with verse 2. 6 days later, Jesus took Peter, James, and John and led them up a high mountain to be alone. Have you ever noticed how often Jesus wanted to be alone? Something to think about, those of you who are under a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. As the men watched, Jesus' appearance was transformed, and his clothes became dazzling white, far whiter than any earthly bleach could ever make them. Then Elijah and Moses appeared and began talking with Jesus. Peter exclaimed, "Rabbi, it's wonderful for us to be here. Let's make 3 shelters as memorials, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." In other words, tabernacles, the Feast of Tabernacles. He said this because he really didn't know what else to say, for they were all terrified. Then a cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my dearly loved son. Listen to him." As a young man, my father would often say to me, "David, engage your brain before you engage your mouth." Maybe we should add one more step to that. Engage your ears to listen, then engage your brain, and then thirdly, engage your mouth. Well, maybe this is why I like Peter so much. He just jumped right into the middle of this. And of all things, he interrupted Jesus speaking with Moses and Elijah. Now, I can understand his enthusiasm and wanting to make tabernacles for them to stay in at the Feast of Tabernacles. I can understand all of this. But sometimes when you and I don't know what else to say, we interrupt very important conversation and we say things that, forgive me, demonstrate our ignorance, our enthusiasm, but demonstrate also our ignorance. But notice the mercy of the Father. Jesus never said a word. It wasn't Jesus who stopped them and corrected them. It was the Father. The glory of God just overshadowed them. And the Father spoke to them, "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." Now notice he didn't say Tehei Miknah. He didn't say shut up. He said, listen to him. Now, brothers and sisters, God hasn't changed. We live in a world where people are always talking. And maybe we need to learn to listen to him. Paul says it in this way in Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2, that in the last days God has spoken to us by his Son. I want to challenge you today. Get out your Bible and read. Some days at the church we do this 30-day challenge where we read all 4 of the Gospels in 30 days. Sometimes you just need to listen to him.